It's a bird.
It's a bird.
It's a plane. It's, oh my God, we're going to die.
Oh my God, look at the size. It's Doomsday. Well, hello everybody. My name is Puppetine from the Geeky Puppet Show. Here on the Geeky Puppet Show today for what? For Superman and Lois here once again for our favorite superhero show right now. Pretty much most of the time, really.
For the show that's better than Batman vs. Superman.
Is that really hard?
Wow, no, that movie's soft.
True.
S-A-W-E-F-T. Soft.
But no, for one of the best Supermen that we've ever had, of all the shows going on we've seen, he is really great. But Superman and Lois, it's the season finale, season 3. It's been a heck of a ride. Some episodes haven't been as exciting as others, but they pulled out. They pulled out all the stops for this one.
Yeah, they pulled out a lot. Pulling out is good, but I gotta point out though that this there were some scenes in here, and I kept thinking, man, this is kind of Marvel CG. Whenever Edward Norton turned into the Hulk, we started seeing that with Bizarro. Okay, so a few things to talk about before we get to the main thing. Most of you probably already seen it last night on the TV, or you watched it on YouTube because the full fight is on YouTube.
Yep.
I gotta say, when it comes to this show, I really like the side stories a little bit. You know, Jordan finally apologizes to Sarah after his dad talks to him. They're originally in a diner. All 4 of them. We're going to talk about a family trip to Italy. But and then maybe let Jordan use his powers. I'm thinking like, if I'm Jonathan, like, hold me closer, Jonathan. Jordan. But anyway, yeah. So he's excited about that. But he makes Jordan, hey, you're being kind of a dick. Explains to him, why are you being mean? He's like, well, I want her to feel as bad as she did. It made me feel. This was basically Jordan's response. So ends up with Clark basically telling him, hey, does it really hurt as much as it did before? No, I guess not. Says, basically saying, quit being a dick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go apologize her, and they kind of apologize, but Sarah says we really shouldn't be friends for now, which is okay. Jordan ends up leaving. The whole town is setting up for this meteor shower at night. So Jonathan's been trying to get on the good graces of the coach, which I think is kind of pointless because you're going to be a firefighter. Being football practice or being on a football team doesn't really mean anything if that's your life goal. Meanwhile, one of my predictions came true.
Which one's that?
Henry Irons had sex with Lana Lang, yes.
Bangin'.
Yeah, I knew it was going to happen in the beginning of the season. They were kind of flaring him out. I'm like, oh, please, no. And they did it anyway. Which kind of, I don't know if it was more of a booty call or if it was more than a booty call, but.
Well, here's the thing. He gets offered by General Lane saying, hey, the DOD says, we like these weapons we're getting. We want more. A lot more. So he is saying that the DOD wants to move him and Natalie out to Metropolis, and they'd be there full time. But I mean, that would be require leaving Smallville, and it's a lot to think about. And John Henry Irons tells Lana Lang, "Hey, I do like you, but with this happening, with me going, are you sure you want to do this?" And she's like, "Let me give you a reason you might want to stay, or you wish you were staying." So yes. Also, speaking of babangin', Kyle learns that Chrissy is pregnant.
Yay!
Okay.
So that explains Lana. He basically has to tell Lana, tells the girls okay. Lana's taken back a little bit. She's kind of hurt still, which I don't know.
Not at first. No. I think she's more hurt after what happens at the
later on,
meteor shower.
Yeah, he gets on the stage, takes the microphone away from the coach, who's basically rambling on, and he proposes. And then Lana, who basically just got back with a booty call with Henry, and
John Henry.
John Henry, and so she hears that, she's kind of taken back. I'm thinking like, come on, really? You just had sex with another guy. You're hurt now? Screw that. He moved on. You moved on. If you didn't move on, you shouldn't have divorced him.
Yeah, but she didn't move on to that level yet. She's not going and getting married.
But aside from that thing, is that General Lane finally went on his date.
Yeah, he went on a date. Lois is ready to bang Superman again. There's a lot of banging going on.
Yeah, it's a lot of shirtless. I'm like, oh my gosh, because we had 2 makeout scenes. John Henry with the shirt off. But before that, we had Clark with his shirt off. And I'm like, is Sam Lane going to take his shirt off in the alleyway? No, he ends up getting tasered in the neck by his date, who works for Lex Luthor. He's kidnapped. This leads Superman to Clark to go looking for Lane. He hears a truck pulling over up to basically the farm. Well, everyone's at the meteor shower, getting ready to watch the meteor showers in town. Clark ends up meeting Lex Luthor. Lex Luthor basically says, Superman, you ever wonder what it's like to die, pretty much? Leading up to this, though, because Lex Luthor, at the end of the last episode, Lex actually had, he stumbled across Bizarro, who'd been alive, and, attacked Otis. Otis lost his ear. We managed to shoot him with the kryptonite gun, the yellow kryptonite gun, which weakens him. But he finds out it dies, and he realizes that, oh my gosh, he gets stronger every time he comes back to life because of this. He says, "How would you like to be where no one can ever kill you again?" And when he's got him chained up, he says, "Yes." So Lex pretty much gets his old arsenal out. Pretty much, he's got it. Everything's painted in yellow, kryptonite, shotguns, flamethrowers, axes, and just everything you can think of. And towards the end, we see this. This is the Bizarro now. He's getting bigger. He's more mutating. Crystals are growing out of him. Eventually, back at the farm, he's called there, and we finally get to see him.
Yeah, that is, a better Doomsday than from Batman versus Superman, which is why it was.
It basically it's Nemesis.
A little bit.
I really kept thinking, oh my gosh, this is Nemesis from the only way played the video games Resident Evil.
Yeah, it really looks like it. Yeah, we get to see this montage of them making Bizarro Superman into this. Yeah. It is very disturbing.
Yeah. So they end up fighting each other, and then they land in town in front of the meteor shower. But he's there, and then we get to see an even better close up. He has the Superman shield still out mutated on, which is really stupid.
I think they Lex burned it into him to mock Superman, because it's the right way around now, isn't it?
It's going backwards still.
Oh, it's still going backwards. Okay, well I'm wrong then.
Yeah, and then we get to see another shot here.
He looks gruesome.
That is Resident Evil quality graphics, computer graphics, not the Supergirl graphics.
Yeah. Yes.
And not Flash graphics either. They were really working on this, and I gotta say, oh man, it is disgusting looking.
Kind of makes sense as to why so many moments in the show were toned down. They were cut to basically what it's mainly aiming to be, a drama involved in the people's lives, because they had to save up money for this.
Yep.
But yeah, no. They fight. It looks like Superman. He gets his ass kicked, and it looks bad for him for a minute. But then you can hear as Lois whispers Clark, and it just echoes to Superman, who's being pulled up by basically Doomsday up into space, and that's when Clark gets his second wind.
Yeah,
out of the fist. They land on the moon and they charge with the Earth in the background. It looks so good.
But sir, you're going too fast. You're skipping over a lot of key events. he's getting his ass kicked, but they really kind of stole this from Superman, the Death of Superman, an anniversary issue they did this year, or actually, no, was it last year? I think it might this year. Anyway, DC Comics put out an issue basically where it was written by basically the original writers. Dan Jurgens came back. You had what was it? Brett, I think it was Brett Booth, or
I can't remember.
Yeah, but basically the story is that basically another Doomsday happened, and this time it's just basically taking a story taking place back when Jonathan was still a kid. So as Clark battles them, and it's just like the comic books in the show. Clark tells Jordan and the rest of them, "Stay back. I got this." And the guy gives that kind of like, "I'm not sure I'm going to win this." To the Lois, who's basically just distraught, sad. And he basically, they fight. They get thrown in the ocean up there, and then eventually, they're in Metropolis, pummeled into the ground of the subway. They fight there, smashing his head in repeatedly. Eventually, yeah. But before I skipped ahead too. Before they got out of the ocean, Clark uses his freeze breath, freezes Doomsday in a block of ice, throws him. He lands on a radio spire, and he thinks he's dead. Only for him to break, snap it off, and then he proceeds to beat the shit out of Clark into the subway tunnel, and then he floats up, and he's holding him by his head. Then they go up into space. And he's getting ready to crush him, only for the sunlight to creep over onto Superman's face, allowing him to get there. And he's going through basically. He hears Lois calling out to him, saying Clark. And he hears that, and he's basically his whole life is flashing before his eyes. Even the hot sex he had with his wife in this episode. Yeah. And then you see his fist. He hands turns into a fist. They punch them onto the moon. And then it's basically like at the end, it's like Street Fighter or Dragon Ball Z. You got Superman on one side, and they got Doomsday on the other side. Doomsday starts running, Superman starts flying, and they're getting ready to hit each other. And then it goes to the logo, goes to Superman logo, and that's it. We're left on a cliffhanger till next year or next season.
I know, right? This is a hell of a cliffhanger. They had to make a season 4.
It is awesome. I'm glad that this show was greenlit for another season. I hope it gets another 3. Honestly, it deserves as many seasons as the Flash got.
No,
until they run out of ideas.
That's fair. I mean, there's a better. There's more that they can do. They have taken every turn that they've made, and they subvert your expectations of what you're getting in a season.
So
they started the very beginning of the show like that. The whole drama with, oh my gosh, they made Lex Luthor black, and then the reveal of John Henry Irons. And then for season 2, everybody swore we were getting, who was it?
Doomsday.
Oh yeah, they thought we were getting Doomsday. And then, well, I guess they were kind of right now.
Yeah. I said they decided to combine Bizarro with Doomsday.
Yeah, they take these massive swings, and you know what? They hit.
So I gotta say though, for those who watch the small, short-lived show called Krypton, or Krypton, as Marlon Brando likes it, that was on Sci-Fi, they revealed how Doomsday was made. It was actually a Kryptonian that volunteered for the project to better, become the ultimate warrior, and he slowly mutated into that giant thing. The thing is about this is this Doomsday. At the end, he's sitting there. He's like, oh, we're gonna fight. No, he pulls out 2 freaking large crystal daggers out of his body, each hand, and he's gonna slay some Superman ass. Literally. I said, this is a love letter to the people who love Superman.
Yeah. It's made by people who respect the characters, who want to see them succeed, give them troubles, because in life you need troubles. They build you as a person, but they take that, give it to them, and the characters grow. Each character grows. And that is what is so fantastic about Superman and Lois.
I love it so much that I decided to basically steal one of Reed's beers. Son of a bitch. Oh, crap. He's here.
It's spreading. But yeah, no, this show is fantastic. If you haven't watched it, I say it every week, but I'm going to say it again. If you haven't watched it, you are missing out. Go find it. It's free on the CW app.
Also, it's not a short-lived freaking battle like you get in Supergirl and the CW. This is 7 minutes of pure awesomeness.
Right at the end, yeah. It's so great, and I am so excited for next season. There's a reason why it is surviving, and we keep just showering it with love because it loves us back. And that's what any content that you watch, it should love you too. And that's what this show does. But that's pretty much it.
Yeah. So for those, I'm sorry, see Therapy Entertainment said screw the CW. Yeah, screw the CW. Because this was written by CW, though.
Yeah, it's not like it's
HBO,
CW writing.
This is the HBO Max production that was put on CW.
I mean, HBO Max is kind of dead, but it is still... They have actual money in the show. They have competent writers in the show.
It's not Virtue Signal either.
No,
not every single episode. It's not Batwoman. It's not Supergirl. I mean, heck, it's not even freaking Nancy Drew or even some of the other ones they put in there.
No, it's nothing like that.
It's all about the characters. It's not about what's currently going on in the politics. Supergirl was Orange Man bad, guns are bad, build the walls bad, aliens, and just it was just so blatantly just used it for political tools. This is actually written by people who actually understand. You know what? Let's actually give a damn about the source material and let's go with it.
Yeah.
Literally, the only thing I would change if you got rid of Jordan and just had Jonathan with the powers, then the show would be better for me. But Jordan's kind of grown on me.
Yeah, each character gets better. John needs a little more to do. I'm going to say, but yeah, it's really great. But that's pretty much it. So you heard our pleas. It's pretty much all we can do. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. It helps out the channel. We will be back for next season, so don't miss out on that either. We're also reviewing Secret Invasion, which is coming out right now. I don't think you should miss that either. Well, I don't know about the show. Depends on if it's to your liking. But don't miss out on the reviews. It helps out the channel, and we do comic book readings, so check out that Ko-Fi. If you can drop $1, it does really help out. But that's it for now. So from Froggy and me, thank you so much, and goodbye. To truth.
So long, suckers.
To justice. And the frog way.
Only you can.